Today we're going to make the blast off part of our rocket ship. And we're going to use the same lines that we used last week. So let's practice first. I have a piece of paper and I have it vertical or up and down. I'm going to take my lines and start adding them all the way from the top to the bottom. I'll use my pencil to practice first. So here I'm adding curved lines. I might have some straight lines. I might have some loopy lines. There might be lots of different kinds of lines. And my lines might even go on top of one another like this. Once I've practiced my lines, I'm going to do it with the paint. So we'll flip it over to the front side. Oh, but before we do that, let's put our name. So name here and teacher code so that we know that it's ours. And we have to do that before we add the paint on. Now you're going to have two kinds of paint. So you're going to have some red and some yellow. You're also going to have a Q-tip. Don't clean your ears with this. We're going to use this to paint today. So in order to get started, you need to take the cap off from your paint. I'm going to dip my Q-tip right into the paint, and just like I did with my pencil or my marker, I'm going to make lines from the very top all the way down to the very bottom. I might need to go back into my paint and dip my Q-tip in again to get a little bit more paint. So I'm using my lines, going from the very top, going back into my paint when I need it, and going down to the very bottom. I can also use the other paint. So I'm going to bring my Q-tip over here. Now I could use the other side, but I think I'm going to keep that clean so I don't get too messy. And I'm going to dip the Q-tip right into the red as well. And this is where I can make more lines using the different color. Now what happens if the two mix, if my yellow and my red mix? And I don't care if you go back and forth like this. If you guess that they turn orange, you're right. I don't mind if these colors mix a little bit because red and yellow and orange are all warm colors and they will look great as blast off. Now am I going here and smearing it all together? I'm not. I'm making sure that I still have lines. Once I have a lot of lines, I can stop and then we'll let this dry for the day. Your Q-tip is going to go in the garbage. Your paints need to have the cap put on the top nice and tight, and your artwork will go over on the drying space.